Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me for this mini series on handstand drills. So I'm going to be sharing some of the exercises and postures and moves that you should be practicing if you're working towards a handstand. Now I too am working towards a handstand. I'm going to be honest and tell you right now, when this video is being recorded, that I'm not there just yet. However, I'm well on the way to achieving handstands, which is something that I never thought that I have the confidence for, the fitness level for, and it really inspires me. So I want to share with you what I do to help work on my handstands every week. So I hope you enjoy this mini series. Let's get started. Okay, so ideally you will have warmed up a little bit, so make sure that you have done a few exercises to get your body a little bit warmer. Maybe you want to do one of the sessions from the Yoga Fit channel and do, a few things for the upper body. And then I want to share just specific exercises that are going to help you work towards your handstand. So first one is coming down into Dolphin. So if you come onto your knees, and you're going to walk the hands out so that you're on your hands and your knees, tuck the toes under, come into a downward facing dog. And then Dolphin, you're going to come down onto the forearms. Now, this may look super easy, but it's actually really tough on the upper body. So you can pause here. If you need to create some movement through the feet, you could. Sometimes it's a good distraction. If not, pause, breathe, and hold that for a few seconds. You may want to vary it from going into downward dog and then into dolphin, but that one's a great one for engaging some of the muscles that you're definitely going to be using in a handstand. Another great one is for your belly, your tummy. The engagement throughout your sort of central panel of your body is really, really important for handstand. So I would suggest that you practice plenty of boats. So coming onto your bottom, walking the knees a little closer to the body, lifting up the feet and the shins to parallel from the knees, nice tall torso. Arms can be extended to the sides. Now I tend to practice this one a lot. You could extend the legs. I tend to find my body rounds out a little bit too much when I do this. This is quite tough, but varying through the two is quite good. I can feel my body shaking. I can feel it working. So definitely make sure you're doing a few boats as well. And maybe you can incorporate these exercises in a little bit of a routine to work on that handstand. So next one that we're going to do is going into, again, a downward facing dog. So you're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips high, and from here we're just going to do some little kicks. So in yoga we quite often lift up the leg, so just work on firstly raising the legs behind you, left, lower, and then the right and lower. Now, walk the fingers in a little bit and the hands a little closer. And then what I want you to do is actually kick that left leg up. Come onto the ball of the right foot and just find a little bit of lift. Maybe a tiny bit of lift off the toes. Swap over, do the same with the right. A little bit of lift. Maybe a tiny little hop. And then from here, the next stage is to actually hop off the ground. So you actually send the left leg back, little hops off the ground, swap over, kick the right leg back, little hops. Amazing. Take a little rest. So this is us starting to progress our practice a little bit more. Now, there's two ways of doing a handstand. Obviously, you can bring the legs up straight behind you, but you may also see people lifting up the legs in sort of a diagonal, coming kind of out to the sides and then up, which looks super cool and super strong. So I also like to practice for that. So to practice for that, I actually almost come into my positioning for a crow. So I might find that positioning there. I then send the legs up high, kick the legs out to the sides. So fingers a little tighter in. I know we talk about the fingers really being super wide, but in handstand that's a little different, and also the hands need to be a little closer together. So let's go again. So you're literally kicking the legs out to the side and returning down. Now that's one I am practicing a lot of, and starting to see a little bit of progression, moving higher and higher. So the next progression with legs coming behind you, which I would encourage you to then try, is coming back into that positioning almost like a downward facing dog, but actually you're going to walk yourself a little tighter in with the feet and the hands. Make sure you've got nothing behind you, and then you're going to start to work on those kickbacks again. So getting a little bit of elevation through the legs. Swap over, do the same with the right. All the time keeping the belly tight. And my other thing that I'm really trying to practice is to look sort of forward and down towards the hands as opposed to through the hands. So from here, you can hear I'm nice and out of breath. We're going to start to work on lifting that second leg up. So you're getting a little bit of air time. Swap over. Pause and have a breather, because I can feel myself getting out of breath. And just make sure that you have lots of moments to sort of refuel with energy. Take a drink, whatever you need to, and just make sure that you're having little pauses in between these little workouts. And then lastly, coming back into that same positioning, so hands fairly tight to the feet. And then from here, once you've got your kick backs going nicely, and maybe you're getting a little bit more lift, you can then work on swapping the legs over, and it might take a few little goes. So going from this to actually swapping over in the air. And you can give that a go, and that helps to lift both legs to that center point. Now, other things that I'd encourage you to practice is things like your plank, your side plank, maybe lifting legs in plank, and just encourage you to explore, basically. Now, those are just a few little drills, a few little exercises that you can try to work on your strength in leading towards a handstand. Now, you can also use the wall. I saw a great video by someone else where they were encouraging you not to use the wall with the head towards it, which is the temptation to come towards the wall and then kick up the wall so that your back is down the side of the wall, but actually instead to come up nice and tight to the wall and work your legs up the wall from here. So it's another thing that you can do. Just make sure you've got enough energy to bring yourself back down, because otherwise you may do a little face plant. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was really playful for you and gives you some exciting things to work towards. I think a big part that I personally found with handstand is just giving it a go. So for me, I actually started practicing it more so in the garden, where I knew there was nothing that I could crush or go through, and it helped me to build my confidence to then bring them into the house and be able to practice my little drills in the house. So give them a go. I'd love to see your progress videos and pictures. You probably know from seeing my Instagram that I am always sharing little updates on where my handstands are at, so please share yours too and tag me in. I'd love to see it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for another mini series video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, guys. Bye.